I have one thing to say to you, and it is, no kings, freedom. No kings, freedom. But as Randy says, and she's right, that I know something about authoritarianism. The thing that I know is that it can only be fought together. So I'm going to say no kings, and I want to hear if there's anybody out there who can say freedom. No kings. No kings. No kings. That's right. We don't want kings, we don't want fascists, we don't want oligarchs for very simple reasons. Those people cannot represent us. They are surrounded by the hirelings, by the minions, by the bootlicking billionaires. And what they will do and what they are doing is taking away the future, taking away our health, destroying the environment around us, taking away our rights. That is what they are bringing to us. No kings, no kings, no kings. But freedom means hands off. Freedom means no deportations in the streets. Freedom means no violence against peaceful American citizens and everybody in this country. But freedom also means a nature with which we're in harmony. Freedom also means a government that works. Freedom also means equality, health care. Freedom also means the American dream. No kings, no kings, no kings. When I was a little kid, my parents brought me to this city to see the Liberty Bell. And that was very meaningful for me because we had a bell on the farm, and I thought about that bell as the Liberty Bell, and I rang as a little kid. We came, we saw the Liberty Bell, and that was wonderful. But as I grew up, I learned some things. I learned that the Liberty Bell wasn't called the Liberty Bell in 1776. You know this, right? You're from Philadelphia. It was called the State House Bell. It was the abolitionists who called it the Liberty Bell. It was the people who met the challenge of slavery who called it the Liberty Bell. And then it was the women's suffrage movement who called it the Liberty Bell. And it's because of them that we now all call it the Liberty Bell. And what do we learn from that? We learn that in history, first no kings, and then freedom. And we learn that you only make progress for freedom with struggle, and you learn that you only make progress for freedom with allies who you learn from. So, no kings is today, freedom is tomorrow. No kings today, freedom tomorrow. We act together today, and we keep acting tomorrow. We make a new friend here today, and we do something with them tomorrow. We meet somebody we admire today, and we do something with them tomorrow. We meet somebody who's a little more courageous than us today, and we do something with them tomorrow. Today, no kings, tomorrow, freedom. There is a better America out there. There is a better America underneath. There is a better America that we can see. There is a better America that we can make. History is in our hands. No kings. No kings. No kings. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage the co-president of Community Change, Lorella Braley.
Lorela Praeli, and I'm here today as the co-president of Community Change, where we organize every day for a multiracial democracy and an economy rooted in dignity and justice. I'm proud to stand with you because this is our America, and in our America, we don't do kings. That might sound like a slogan, but it's more than that. It's a moral line in the sand, a declaration of what we refuse to become. Because what we're living through right now, what we saw in Los Angeles this week, is not normal. This is authoritarianism in motion. Unmarked vans, masked agents, people disappeared without notice, no names, no charges, mothers torn from their children, no lawyer, no phone call, and suddenly they are gone. That is not our America. And let me tell you something else. My presence here today, it wasn't guaranteed. When I was 2.5 years old, I was in a car accident that resulted in the amputation of my right leg. At that time, my family lived in Peru, and my mother made a courageous decision. She dreamed that her daughter would live a full life, and she believed the place where I could do that was right here in the United States of America. So we came. She started over, she cleaned houses, she cared for people's children, she worked tirelessly so that her own children could have something more. My mother believed in an America that had room for her daughter's dream, and that welcoming America, her America, is why I stand before you today as a citizen, as a mother, as a fighter, as your partner in this struggle to build a country where everyone can live with dignity and thrive. But the America we're seeing unfold right now, it's a nightmare. And we have to name it for what it is. Not an aberration, but a strategy. This is the blueprint of authoritarianism, the violation of rights, the erosion of norms, the manufacturing of fear, the targeting of the most vulnerable. So let's be clear. In our America, we say no to kings with secret police. We say no to separating mothers from their children. We say no to rounding up workers while billionaires get another tax break. We say no to turning neighbor against neighbor. So say it with me, loud enough for every would-be king to hear. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. 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 Thank you. So I also want to talk about another truth in this moment, which is that there are a lot of people hurting. Rents have skyrocketed. Childcare costs more than your mortgage. Health insurance doesn't cover your health. You go to the grocery store and you ask yourself, how am I supposed to feed my family this week? That pain is real, and Trump is exploiting it to consolidate power. When people are hurting, it's easy to look for someone to blame, and that's what he's counting on. Because he doesn't want you to look at him or the billionaires he's shielding. He wants you to blame your neighbor, to fear the immigrant, to believe that someone else's survival is a threat to your own. But here is the truth. Trump is cheating working people. He is using immigrants as scapegoats to distract us while he steals from all of us. We have seen wannabe kings before. They rise by stoking fear, by criminalizing the vulnerable, by looting from the many to enrich the few. We believe in something different. We believe every person has worth, that families belong together, that workers deserve dignity no matter where they were born, that democracy isn't guaranteed, it is something we build together, and above all, we believe our solidarity is stronger than their fear. So what do? We rise. We organize, we show up, we link arms across race, across faith, across difference. We hold the line and then we move the line. Because we are not just resisting, we are reshaping and rebuilding this country from the ground up. Ahora yo quiero hablar con mi gente latina. Sí, nos están atacando por tener la piel morena, por hablar español, por existir con orgullo. Nos quieren borrar, pero no podrán. Porque venimos de fuerza, de lucha, de esperanza, de campos sembrados y calles marchadas, de madres que no se rinden y pueblos que no se doblan. Mi familia latina, este es el momento de unirnos, de alzar nuestras voces, porque aquí estamos, aquí seguimos y no nos vamos. Ni un paso atrás, porque esta también es nuestra América. So, we're going to wrap this up, or I'm going to wrap my part up, and we're going to say, no hate, no fear, would-be kings aren't welcomed here. Are you ready? All right, let's do this thing. Make it loud. No hate, no fear. Would-be kings aren't welcome here, no hate, no fear. Would-be kings aren't welcome here, no hate, no fear. Would-be kings aren't welcome here, no hate, no fear. Would-be kings aren't welcome here, no hate, no fear. Would-be kings aren't welcome here, no hate, no fear. Would-be kings aren't welcome here. Thank you. Thank you, Philadelphia.
Please give a warm Philadelphia welcome to Army veteran with Common Defense, Naveed Shah.
What's up, Philadelphia? Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Naveed Shah, and I'm the political director of Common Defense and an Army veteran. I'm honored to address you today on behalf of veterans everywhere. You know, as a veteran, I swore an oath to the Constitution. Not to a person, not to a political party, and especially not to a king. Donald Trump thinks his rule is absolute, but in America, we have no kings. I'm a veteran of the war in Iraq, where I served 15 years ago. When I was there in March 2010, was when Iraq held their second ever national election. For many young Iraqis, it was their first time ever casting a ballot. For once, the insurgents weren't not targeting the American soldiers like me who were providing security. They were targeting their own people, who were simply trying to exercise their fundamental right to vote. In that moment, the sanctity of our rights became clear to me, and I promised never to take them for granted. So when I saw what happened in Washington at the Capitol on January 6th, 2021, I was more than just shocked and appalled. I was scared. I was scared for what could happen to our country if we allowed the big lie to continue to fester, for what would happen if insurrectionists took power. And unfortunately, we're seeing that play out right now. Recent events in Los Angeles have made it evident it's necessary now more than ever for us to stand up against authoritarianism. As of now, the Trump regime has federalized 4,000 National Guard soldiers, 700 Marines, but we've seen this playbook before. When troops are deployed to suppress dissent, history shows us that such actions only make the situation worse, not better. The militarized response to protests is a dangerous escalation that undermines the state and local governments, endangers civil rights, and betrays the very principles that we swore to uphold. It's important to note that everybody from Governor Newsom to Mayor Bass, even the LAPD, have said that there's no need for military intervention in LA. But the president and his regime are manufacturing a crisis. We've heard that in places like Texas and Virginia, governors have activated their National Guard, so there's a potential for more troops to be deployed this summer. And that's why now, more than ever, in the face of such oppression, we must commit to deliberate, strategic nonviolence. Seeing all of you out here today in the Philadelphia, my second favorite city after DC, it's a powerful moment to protect democracy in our communities. While Trump and his cronies are watching a show in DC, Americans are stuck choosing between health care and child care and feeding their families. And yet again, veterans' benefits that my brothers and sisters earn, are on the chopping block. The Trump administration wants to cut 15% from the Department of Veterans Affairs, which millions of veterans and military families rely on for their health care. But that's right out of the MAGA playbook, isn't it? Pretend you're honoring the troops with a parade while gutting the services that they need. What's the point of a military parade if you're going to disrespect the troops and their families? 250 years ago, the army that I love was founded by the Continental Congress to stand up against King George. Almost nothing makes me prouder than to say, "Go Army." But today, Trump's birthday parade isn't about patriotism. It's about his power. And here's the truth. In a recent poll that we did, 70% of veterans, including Republicans and independents, are opposed to Trump's birthday parade. Because we know you don't honor the troops by making them props. And that's why Common Defense and our veterans are gathered here today and across the country to reaffirm our commitment to the Constitution of the United States. Not a politician, not a political party, and no kings. Despite our nation's history of oppression and racism, but the ideals that we took an oath to rise above all of that. When I took my oath to join the Army, I did so because I believed that America stood for something better, and I still do. And that's why it's so important for me to protect this country and its Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. If we are to be the shining city on the hill, then we must set the example. Before we send our troops to promote democracy abroad, we must protect democracy here at home. Liberty and justice must truly be accessible for all. The men and women of our military uphold the oath every single day. And as veterans, we're here to commit to continue upholding our oath. And we call on all members of Congress, left, right, and center, to do the right thing. Because the future of democracy depends on them. And it depends on all of you out here going beyond just today. Continue to show up, because this is not just the end, this is just the beginning. Because in America, we have no kings.
Please welcome to the stage from the ACLU, Anu Joshi and Mike Lee.
Civil Liberties Union. And I'm here to say to you that no matter what, the ACLU is in this fight alongside you to save our democracy. Over the last 4.5 months, we've watched in horror as masked men snatched Mahmoud Khalil and other students from their families for exercising their First Amendment protected speech in support of Palestinian human rights. We've watched as they have spent billions of dollars to detain people thousands of miles from their families in private, for-profit detention facilities. We've watched as they've trampled all over people's due process rights and zip-tied children and ripped families apart. And just this week, we watched as the president federalized National Guard troops against the wishes of the state's governor and sent active duty military to an American city in my hometown, Los Angeles, California. 2 days ago, we watched as this administration handcuffed a sitting United States Senator for having the audacity to ask a question. And this is only a part of a larger intimidation campaign as they arrest, charge, and detain not only elected officials, but journalists, universities, judges, union leaders, students, nonprofits, law firms, immigrants, and everyday Americans. But you know what? This isn't the president's country, it's ours. And like all of you, in those moments, we didn't just sit on the sidelines watching as he tried to use the immense power of the federal government to try and silence us through fear. We got to work. We have filed more than 100 lawsuits since the inauguration to challenge their extreme, cruel, and illegal actions. And we are winning, and we are not slowing down. We worked with governors and attorneys general and mayors all across the country to pass policies that serve as a firewall against the president's overreach. We passed town halls. We took to the streets to physically protect our immigrant family members. We uplifted the stories of trans joy in our nation's capital. And we trained hundreds of thousands of people to know their rights and to use them. The actions of this White House are un-American, an abuse of power, and just damn wrong. But just looking at the thousands of people here and the millions of people joining events like this all across the country, it is very clear to me that we cannot be silent and we are not afraid. Never let anyone tell you that protesting is not patriotic. In fact, it is the most patriotic action you can take in these trying times. It is our constitutional right to do so. When we know our rights, when we exercise them, when we protest, when we dissent, when we speak freely, when we act to protect our families, our friends, and neighbors, when we show up, we make progress for everyone. Thank you all so much for being here and for supporting the ACLU. And we know we couldn't do any of this work without the leadership of our incredible ACLU affiliates. As I'm so excited to be standing here with a champion of Pennsylvania, a lifelong Philadelphian, and the executive director of the ACLU of Pennsylvania, Mike Lee.
What up, Philly? I said, what up, Philly? When I say free, you say speech. Free! 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 That's what's up. That's what's up. That's Philly right there. Hi, my name is Mike Lee. I'm the executive director of ACLU of Pennsylvania. Proud Philadelphian. Born and raised. Happy Pride Month. Happy early Father's Day. Happy democracy. Cities and countries, cities across this country, standing up, pushing back against President Trump and his enablers while they try to pull out all the stops unconstitutionally, trying to scare us, put us on our heels, knock the democratic breath out of us. They even trying to do it here in Philly, threatening funding cuts if we don't change our local policies, deportation without due process. Boo! Troops in our streets. But guess what? You messing with the wrong city! You've seen our local government, you've seen our elected officials. We here to stand up and push back. Philly, as you've heard throughout today, we're known for our fighting spirit and our brotherly love, and two-time Super Bowl champion Eagles. But let me tell y'all real quick while these are called the Rocky Steps. It's not because of how many people Rocky knocked down, it's because of how many times he stood up. Against the odds, he stood up. Stand up, fight back, right? So, when they try to give us a parade, no, we want Medicaid. We're going to stand up. Don't give us a statue. And for tourists, we love to grind. That's why we talk about these steps. That's why we bring our champions to these steps. Because we respect and love the grind, the underdog. It doesn't matter what the odds are. We're here to fight peacefully. And do so in a constitutional way, because that's what it's all about. Last thing, Philly. Last thing. Only love can drive out the hate that we're seeing. I see love here. And just remember, when you're in Philly, sometimes love hurts.
Please give a warm Philadelphia welcome to State Representative from Georgia, Rua Roman.
That we bow down to no king. As we gather here today and all around the country, we face a pivotal moment in our history. I know it seems dark and scary. We're watching families torn apart all around the country. We saw photos of Marines detaining a vet on his way to the VA. We've seen ICE detain citizens. And now we're seeing a world-triggering escalation in the Middle East. And this morning, Minnesota state legislators were hunted down and gunned down. And all of this comes after we watched a genocide unfold in Gaza for almost 2 years, while our elected officials cheered it on or gave mealy-mouthed reasons of why they couldn't oppose the atrocities that we paid for. We did not arrive here in a vacuum, and it's important to understand how we got here so we can change the trajectory of where we go. Our leaders have failed us. Republicans want children to starve and the poor to die, and too many of my colleagues still think that people will magically support us if we just compromise a little more, found that magic road. But compromise on basic rights of people and lack of principles will never win. And all it did was help pave the path towards fascism in our country. And I will say this, remember, this is the re-emergence of fascism because we have seen so much of this before. Nothing happening today is new. The illegal detentions, the crackdown on protesters and free speech, the disappearings of people and deportations. In a weird way, it kind of gives me some solace, but it also fills me with fury and deep anger because it's a reminder that everything we see around us is a choice, and it's a choice that we can make differently. And my fury comes from the reality that those who can make the world better are actively choosing not to. But I'm here today to remind myself and all of you that we are not alone. Just look at you. When my community had pushed me to run for office, and for those who don't know, I kind of got bullied into this, I knew I wouldn't be doing it alone. And it was because of them that I had the courage to do this. But now that I'm in it, I see all the time and all the ways that we can make a massive difference. And look, I get it. I was talking with some friends last night about the state of the world, and I told them about how, as someone who's on the inside, the thing that keeps me up at night is to see all of those opportunities that if more people had just shown up, we could have made a huge difference. And here's the thing. They rightfully said, look, there's so much cynicism. People are tired of the corruption. And I get it. I totally get it. But hear me when I say to you today, those who actually engage in that corruption want nothing more than for us to leave them alone. They want us to turn away. They want our cynicism to convince us into inaction. But I'm not going anywhere, and neither should any of you. I'm here today to implore all of you not to allow our cynicism to lull us into inaction. Do not allow this moment of feeling overwhelmed to paralyze you. And again, I know so many people are scared today. I know some of you are seeing the deployment of military personnel, the escalation of ICE, and the targeting of protesters and wondering what power you have. But I'm telling you right now, in this moment, this will be the easiest time to be brave. Right now is the moment to insist on our rights. Right now is the moment to push back on anyone who attempts to normalize this in any way. Now is the time to loudly remind those around us, as close as they are and as far as they are, that none of this is normal. And why do you ask? Because our opposition works. The administration, after ripping families apart, is already shifting who they are targeting. And it's because of all of you showing up in the streets. And I remind you that even those that have been detained for standing up for Palestinian rights, like Rumeysa and Mohsen, have already been released. But we cannot let up until we are all safe, until we are all free. We cannot let up until Mahmoud Khalil is reunited with his child. We cannot let up. We cannot let up until we not only stop the cuts to Medicaid, but make sure we finally have universal health care. We cannot let up. We cannot let up until we not only stop the genocide in the Congo and Gaza and Sudan and all around the world, but also end the endless wars. we stop this never-ending march to an increasingly extractionary economy that squeezes all of us for everything that we barely have to benefit some unnamed shareholder who'll never know our stories, will never know our names. So today, I am asking you to think about 3 things and your role in them. 3 places. First, your community. Get to know your neighbors, because if you don't already, it is one of the most beautiful experiences in my life. It is so lovely to know them. And make sure that you build a support system with those literally and physically closest to you. And support your local food banks. Support literally anyone who might need it in your neighborhood. And talk to each other. These algorithms continue to silo us and isolate us from each other, and that is extremely dangerous. Now is the time that we need each other more than ever before. Second, and I gotta say it, y'all, your local politics. My city council member won by 4 votes in a runoff. Getting involved politically, from school boards to state legislators to county parties, is world-changing. It's where you have the most power, and I'm not just talking elections here, I'm talking about committee hearings, I'm talking about school board hearings, I'm talking about every possible hearing you go and make your voice heard. Because I promise you this, every national policy you have hated has started locally somewhere. And third, take care of yourselves. This is a long, long road. I need us to learn to do this work at a pace that works for multiple years. Figure out what that pace looks like for you. Figure out what you have to offer. If you cook, if you bake, if you're artistic, there is so much of you that you can offer to those around you. Now is the time to lean into that. And I'm going to end with this. To my colleagues all around the country who are reeling from the news in Minnesota, I say again, now is the easiest time to be brave. Too many people want to silence people like us. But now is the time to stand up to them and say, you will not make us cower in fear. Our communities need us more now than ever before. Because I promise you, that is where our power is. Today we marched, tomorrow we change the world, and to the cynics that shrug and say, this is the way the world has always been, I remind them to look at history and compare it to where we are today. But also, if a Palestinian can get elected in a state like Georgia, I have a hard time believing anything is impossible. Thank you, Philly, you're a gorgeous crowd!
Please welcome to the stage, from the Human Rights Campaign, Wendy Stroud.
Hello, beautiful people. Before I start, I just wanted to say a special happy birthday to Rua. Today is her birthday, so please wish her a happy birthday. So I'm Wendy Stroud. I use she, her pronouns, and I am with the Human Rights Campaign. We are the largest LGBTQ+ civil rights organization in the country. Now I'm guessing that you all know the colors of the Pride flag, the rainbow colors. I'm here to tell you that those colors do not run. And the LGBTQ+ community that flag represents, we don't run either. And we do not bow to wannabe kings. And we will not be forced back into the closet. Trump wants to erase us. He may try and erase our history from his website, or remove our names from battleships. He may try to legislate us out of existence, but he will never succeed. You all know our community has a history of fighting back and standing up against bullies. LGBTQ members and our allies continue to fight and stand up for each other. We will continue to fight for our trans siblings' right to exist and live their authentic lives. We will continue to stand up for our children so they can be safe and welcome in their schools. And we will continue to speak up for immigrants like Andre Hernandez Romero, a gay stylist who was just looking for a better life. He was doing everything the government asked of him to be here. However, one day, Trump disappeared him and many like him without cause or due process. If Trump thinks that he can erase us, then we've got news for him. We will show up for our LGBTQ plus community in court, in the halls of Congress, throughout our local communities, and here in the streets. We are not going anywhere, and despite how we act, this country does not have a king. So here is my call to you. Call your member of Congress. I don't care if you don't think they're going to listen, just call them anyway. Tell them to do their job and listen to their constituents and do what their constituents need, not what the billionaires need. Make them heard, make your voice heard. Call them today. Call them tomorrow. Call them every day until they listen to you. Thank you, everyone, and remember, these colors do not run.
Please give a warm Philadelphia welcome, co-chair of Public Citizen, Rob Weissman.
Brothers and sisters and my friends, we congregate here today in the cradle of liberty to reaffirm three founding principles. First, we are all created equal, no matter where we were born, no matter who we love, no matter our religion or race, we are all created equal. Second, we are all endowed with the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that means a right to health care, a right to clean air, a right to a decent job, a right to be treated respectfully. And third, our government and every government's legitimacy relies on only one thing: the consent of the governed. In America, there are no kings. Donald Trump, you may not snatch people off the street because you don't like what they think, because say it with me, in America, there are no kings. Donald Trump, you may not shut down agencies and protect us from financial fraudsters or deliver foreign aid for the hungry and those who need health care, because in America, there are no kings. Donald Trump, you may not take money away from people or threaten to put them in jail because you do not like what they think or say, because in America, there are no kings. Donald Trump, you may not treat the military as your personal security force and deploy it on a whim and with a bare hint of pretext, because in America, there are no kings. And Donald Trump, you may not accept tribute from foreign powers or bribes from corporate oligarchs, because in America, there are no kings. This small-minded man, this petty individual. He thinks he should be a king. He wants to be a monarch, maybe a czar. But let me tell you, my friends, this would-be emperor has no clothes. He has no clothes because in America the power only comes from all of us. It only comes from us. So when Donald Trump says he wants to take health care away from millions of Americans, we say no. When Donald Trump says he wants to slash taxes for the rich and corporations, we say no. When Donald Trump says he wants more money to separate families, build detention centers, and hire Jack thugs to rip people off the streets, we say no. When Donald Trump says more subsidies for big oil, let's race to climate catastrophe, we say no. And when Donald Trump says, I want to take food away from hungry people in America, we say no. But my friends, consent to the governed is not just about a veto authority. It's about getting what it is we want. It's about getting what it is we want. When it comes to health care for all, health care is a right. We say yes, yes, yes. When it comes to our clean environment and investing in the clean energy revolution we need to avert climate catastrophe, we say yes, yes, yes. When it comes to a good job for everyone, a living wage, and a right to organize a union, we say yes, yes, yes. When it comes to guaranteeing a good education for every child in America with well-paid teachers who are respected for what they do, we say yes, yes, yes. When it comes to decency and democracy and love and solidarity and justice for all, we say yes, yes, yes. We will together, when we organize and mobilize, as 100,000 of us have done here in Philadelphia today, as millions of us have done across the country, when we organize and mobilize, we will defeat this would-be emperor who has no clothes, and we will deliver on the promise made here almost 250 years ago of the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for every single human being. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you.
And now, please welcome to the stage our final speakers, co-executive directors of Indivisible, Leah Greenberg and Ezra Levin.
And I'm Ezra.
And we represent a movement of thousands of indivisible groups organizing all over the country to fight for our democracy. And we're all here today because we are watching Donald Trump dismantle American democracy in real time. Masked men are grabbing students off the streets for their social media posts. They're kidnapping moms as they take their kids to school. They're disappearing innocent men into foreign torture gulags without a shred of due process.
don't feel like they're this way. I feel like they're parts that way.
Son parte del disfruta, Yeah, I was just talking earlier. We were walking. I ain't seen no shit.
I saw the video you did with the Kings.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. But what's so funny is Corey had me laughing. He was like, every time we go somewhere, they automatically go right to you. I was like, yeah, they always come back. I don't know why, but that's just okay. That was great though. Alright, that's over. Yeah. I didn't see any. I ain't feel like no shit. I had my little brother laughing. He was like, I'm coming downtown. I said, keep your white ass home. Like, you gotta come down here. The foolish, they got the stewards boarded up. Y'all ain't doing no stay home.
Well, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it'll probably be like later on tonight.
So there's nothing really going on in here.
Y'all missed the standoff.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I don't want to broadcast that. You know, it's peaceful. I just AI bird. Pop up like one more shot. I was working with someone. I said I want to grab a shot. I think I was out in a bar or something. Like, you gonna take a shot? I'm like, no, I mean like take a picture. I thought that was funny though. I guess it makes the same sense.